Hey there Facebook, it is Vanessa here again, your motivational speaker, trainer and head coach from Live, Love, Give. And I am coming to you from the beautiful beach down in Warrnambool, trying to get a bit of beach action there for you guys. But ultimately I wanted to talk to you guys about a new discovery of mine at Date with Destiny. I know I keep talking about it, but there is so much value that I uncovered at that event that I just can't wait to share more of with you guys. But ultimately what I wanted to dive in today with you is ultimately that how having freedom as my highest value was actually costing me exactly that in my life and in my love. And so that's what I really wanted to share with you guys today. And my hope is that it gets you thinking about what your current hierarchy of your values is and how that's serving you and how it's costing you. And so for me personally, going into the event, part of what we do is we discover and we uncover exactly what our current set of values is before we kind of really dive into the event. And ultimately, values work is something that I've worked on for a number of years, and I'm constantly in this realm. So it was nothing new to me in terms of discovering what that was. It was pretty simple, but ultimately, my top value going into Date with Destiny was freedom. Then closely followed by authenticity and depth of connection and making a meaningful difference and all of these great values that mean a lot to me. But there was something that Tony Robbins sort of really dove into, which woke me up at this event and ultimately allowed me to see how having freedom as my top value was completely detrimental to actually attaining that sense of freedom. And so what he actually spoke into, he shared his personal story in terms of how he used to have freedom as his top value. And what he worked out was that whenever you have freedom anywhere, he says, in your values hierarchy, but particularly if it's your absolute number one value, it means that you are such in constant search of ensuring that you have freedom at all times in everything that you do, that you in actual fact, you create a prison for yourself, which is constantly making sure I'm free, I've got freedom here, I've got freedom there, and ultimately it keeps you away from actually having that true sense of freedom. And how that played out in my life, and I'm going to share with you 3 different areas of life where that totally, now that I got the wake-up call, freedom's completely removed from my list, but I totally got the wake-up call and saw the patterns as to how freedom being my top value was actually absolutely costing me in 3 different areas of my life. So the first one is in my business. It's definitely been costing me in my business because, and there's always a positive and a negative side to everything. So how it was really costing me in my business was that because I had such a need for freedom, every time that I needed to do something in my business to move forward, if it felt like, I don't really want to do this, I found some form of distraction that ultimately gave me that sense of freedom and instant gratification in the moment to take me away from having to feel entrapped by whatever the task was that I didn't want to do. And how that imprisoned me was, okay, so I might have had or generated a sense of freedom in the moment by being able to I don't have to do that right now. I can go and do this other fun thing and I can go and have fun over here and I can just avoid that and handball that responsibility to my future self. What was happening was that my to-do list wasn't getting moved through. It was just adding upon and kind of going over to the next day and thinking, I can just have freedom now. But in fact, I was creating a prison for myself of all of these tasks and things to do that were never getting moved through. I was just doing whatever kind of felt comfortable, and then when it got to the stuff I really just didn't want to have to do, I was handballing that and creating that prison of more things to do for my future self, which ultimately I was never getting out of that cycle. And so that was one area. The next area of my life was definitely in my health. You know, my health started to become an area where having a top need for freedom was impinging on what my value on health was. So instead of, you know, choosing or going the extra mile and having to get the healthy thing, I fell into this pattern of experiencing freedom through food, you know, and through getting connection and going and doing something fun. And particularly because I travel a lot, you know, I was using over the last few months, like, and I've been to the States quite a lot, I was actually, you know, using food as my source of freedom and fun. And that was totally detrimental to my sense of health, which is, just to put it in here, health is reinvigorated as my number one position in my values hierarchy in order for me to reach my highest potential. But yeah, and then that third area of my life where my number one value of freedom was really impinging on my freedom is definitely in my love life. So in my intimate relationships. So you guys who have been following me for a while now know that just a few months ago I left a long-term relationship and I absolutely felt totally free. I felt like I had this amazing sense of freedom, and I didn't want anything to get in the way of that freedom. Like, I was holding on to that freedom for dear life because it felt like the most invigorating and exciting and brilliant feeling ever. And so what I did was I'm always studying love and relationships, and when I left that relationship and I felt this immense sense of freedom that I'd never really felt before, I was like, oh my gosh, like, love equals freedom. And if you don't have this sense of freedom in your life, then it's not love. And I do really believe that. I really do believe that love equals freedom. But then I got into my head, I was like, well, does that exist? Can I fully experience a truly loving relationship and keep this sense of freedom? I hadn't had that experience, and I haven't yet had that experience in my life. So I didn't fully know, but what was happening for me and what I discovered, this was one of my major breakthroughs at Date with Destiny, was that I couldn't see that an intimate relationship could give me that same sense of freedom and true freedom to be all of who I am and do whatever I want, whenever I want, with whoever I want. You know, that to me was freedom. And what I found was it was absolutely blocking me from the potentiality of experiencing and creating an amazing quality of intimate relationship, because I wasn't willing to sacrifice my freedom for any relationship. And so what I discovered, and I had the most beautiful experience at Date with Destiny, and I'm not sure if Mike is watching, but he absolutely gave me this breakthrough. So I think I mentioned it in one of my Date with Destiny videos, but I want to reiterate it because it was the most powerful experience for me. So there is a portion of Date with Destiny that is totally dedicated to relationships, and we talk into predominantly masculine energies and feminine energies. And anyway, there's this part of the day where the men are really tapping into their masculine energy, and they're really tapping into their sense of freedom and really stepping forth into their true core strength of masculinity. And part of that is having real presence, being able to look within a woman's soul and have absolute presence and make a woman feel absolutely safe, protected, cherished. And so all of the men in the room had to just navigate towards any woman, whoever was close by, and give them that sense of real presence. And anyway, the amazing Mike, who was part of my B9 team at Date with Destiny, he tapped me on the shoulder, and I got into this realm of presence with him where, if you haven't had the experience, it might be hard for you to get your kind of mind around, but it really looks like nothing is happening. But like, for any feminine woman who has a masculine strength, look deep within her soul and just look at her and give her that real true presence. Like, it makes me emotional just thinking about it, because it's such a gift that masculine men can give to their feminine partner, and or any feminine woman. And he gave me that gift in that moment, just like all the other women who had those beautiful men step forth and give them that presence, that gift of presence. And in that moment of breakthrough, it was like such a reminder to me of the beauty that a masculine man, when he fully owns who he is and he steps forth with courage and he gets outside of himself and he sees into the depths of another person's soul, particularly if you're a feminine woman and you have that experience, there is nothing more loving, more meaningful than that experience. And I wish that for every single feminine woman out there, that your masculine partner can give you that gift. And for all of you incredible men out there, please, understand the power of your strength in masculinity, your ability to, get outside of yourself and see into the depths of that person that you love. And in that moment where I was having that experience, wow, did I have a breakthrough. And my breakthrough was shifting from, oh my gosh, I need to protect myself from relationship because I don't want my freedom taken away from me. In that moment, it was recreated to ultimately, true freedom is experienced in the arms and the heart of a truly strong, beautiful masculine energy. And I really believe that, yes, we as men and women, and whether we're driven more so by masculine or feminine energies, and we have both, you guys have heard me speak. Hey guys, I'm just trying to reconnect because I lost the internet. So I'm hoping that out here might be way, way better. But let me just get in some shade so I can see that it's not going to close off on me. Okay, yeah, so I just wanted to share that last little bit with you guys, which is, where's some sun? Which is ultimately that, oh my gosh, hang on, there we go, that'll do. Which is ultimately that, that masculine energy. I don't want you guys to forget about the power of that. And so many of us do that in our intimate relationships. We end up, men, falling into that feminine energy and not being able to give their feminine partner that real presence. But in that moment, like I just mentioned, wow, like that is the gift that men can give to their feminine partners, or masculine people can give to their feminine partners. And I would hate for any of us to forget about that power. Sorry, I can't see the screen. So yeah, but really that's what I wanted to reiterate to all of you guys out there, which is ultimately that we need to recognize that when we have freedom as a top value, we are imprisoning ourselves in a false sense of freedom, and we chase these distractions. Like me, we're just handballing the responsibility to tomorrow, and in fact creating this prison for myself, or finding freedom in food, which goes against my health values, and definitely, in relationship, that was my major breakthrough, was that real freedom is in the heart and in the arms of a truly strong, beautiful masculine man who knows who he is, he knows what he wants, he goes after it, he gets outside of himself, and he sees deeply into that person that he loves, her soul. And so, it was major, and I'm really, really hoping that today's message is resonating. I'm just going to go for a walk so I can see the screen because I want to check in with you guys. It's really sunny today. But yeah, let me know if you've got any questions or comments or any feedback for me. I'd love to hear from you. And I'm going to check in with you guys now. And if you haven't already, I want to definitely make sure that you guys join the Limitless Potential Inner Circle Facebook community. We are going strong in there. It's beautiful to witness and see you extraordinary human beings who are already a part of it. And we'd love any of you guys who aren't yet in that amazing community where we are all growing and encouraging and challenging each other to get to a new level of our potential. Definitely click on the link above and request to join, and I will definitely approve you into that group. And I want to check in. So I've got Stephen and Elliot and Frank and Gary and Manny and Adrian and Gabrielle and Miha and Andrew and Jalma and Jeremy and Alexandria and Gabrielle. Hi Vanessa, watching you from New York City. Oh, one of my absolute favorite cities. In actual fact, I don't know, Paris is pretty up there for me as well. But I love New York. That's awesome. And Joel is here. Awesome. And Marco and Harriet and Abia and Jody and Harriet. Thank you so much for the share. Amazing. Oh, I'm loving that you're loving it. That's awesome, Harriet. Thanks for letting me know. And Gabrielle, love that you're sharing how you're figuring it all out. Oh, thank you, Gabrielle. And always, that's what my life is about. It's ultimately to grow myself, to use myself as a guinea pig with all the tools and resources that I can get my hands on, and then hopefully share from an authentic place in the hope that it inspires you guys to do the same and be more intentional, get a new perspective, and break through to your next level. So thanks, Gabrielle. And Anthony's here, and Abia, good morning to you, and Jason from Colombia, love it. And Chico and Dennis and Harriet, I'm loving that you're finding it powerful. And Star Style and Cinda and Andrew and Sam's here. And Jeremy, say no to Cheesecake Factory. Yeah, when I come back, I think there's no more Cheesecake Factory. This place is just too dangerous to my health. And Dr. Yali is here, and Charlie. Yeah, freedom is awesome, absolutely. But you know what I've discovered? Is that freedom, not only comes in our relationship, in the arms and the heart of a masculine man for any feminine woman, but also definitely in being authentic. So for any of us, the more authentic we are, the freer we are. So definitely that's freedom's been on your list. Make sure that you switch it out for authenticity. If authenticity is not on your list and you want to be free, you better put authenticity on there. That's my opinion. And Ramona and Jeff and Hassani and Austin and Sam. Yes, I find freedom getting in the way of my authentic living. Yeah, absolutely. And, it so does, because if we're chasing freedom above all else, it means that we're going to chase whatever gives us that kind of instant gratification and choice in the moment that goes against our values. My top value is now of health and energy. That is absolutely key if I want to really fulfill my destiny and really, help and serve at the highest levels that I'm capable of. Health has to be at the top there. And Caroline and Gianni and Jared's here, and Safan, you're right. I love what you were sharing. Amazing. We always all wanted to feel safe and feel like we were loved and protected. Absolutely. And Dajmal, hello to you. I'd love to visit Morocco sometime. It's definitely on my list. I've never been. And Jessica's here, and Sam, freedom slows me down going for the thing I desire. Yeah, absolutely. It can, when we look at freedom as its own source, instead of how can I really feel true freedom? True freedom is in the ability to be all of who we are, and definitely share that in a loving relationship as well, or multiple loving relationships as well. And Dennis, I'm loving that you're loving the message. And Madeline, you're such an inspiration to the world. Oh, touching my heart. Absolutely, Madeline. Thank you so much for those kind words. And Bradley's here, and Alexandria. Yes, we balance one another. Absolutely. So I think that's what I was talking into before it cut out with the internet connection down the beach there. But yeah, that's what I was saying, that men and women, yes, we can all do things the same. We don't have to have somebody else in our lives in order to fulfill some sort of void that only we can truly fulfill. But it's such a beautiful gift that we can give one another, because we are different. We're equal, but we're different. We have different gifts that we bring to one another. And that's a great way of looking into masculine and feminine energies. And showing up as your most authentic self is always the place that you're going to add most value. And if there's two of you that are the same, one of you isn't necessary. So that's why we need to appreciate our differences and encourage our differences, rather than trying to mold somebody to be just like us, and that's the challenge that we fall into in our relationships. So I love that, Alexandria, and Alex is here, and Gianni, yes, Warrnambool is beautiful. And Sam, I'm loving that you're receiving what I was saying. And Alexandra, and you're back. Yay, yes, absolutely. And Dennis, you're on the right track. A relationship without freedom is not a relationship. Without, not sure what it is, but it's not that. Great chat. Absolutely, Dennis. And yeah, it's a journey that I'm on really discovering that. I've done a lot of research in terms of in-depth internal research, and also learning from different sources externally from me about what love really is. And I still stay true with love equals freedom. But yeah, navigating that and experiencing that's love free from ego. That's unconditional love. And, I think we all need to be on a journey. And we're always going to have that ego part of us, it has its benefits as well as its drawbacks. But true freedom is that sense to be fully authentic, to not hold anything back, to be all of who we are, the entire spectrum of emotion from light to dark, every piece of us, that is true freedom. And if there is something that you are holding back out of fear, then ultimately that is not you being loving, and that's not a loving relationship that you're in. Love is not controlled. It is fully free and expressive. So I love that you're in this conversation, Dennis, and hi Uncle and Josie and Mario. Thanks for being here. And Maria, yes, masculine, steady energy, yes. And you're so welcome, Harriet. And Sam, yes, powerful message, resonating deeply with me. I love hearing that. Thanks, Sam. And Harriet, such an incredible message. Huge appreciation. I love that. Thank you. And Harriet, you can join. There's a link above this video to join the Limitless Potential Inner Circle Facebook community. I'd love to have you a part of it. And Marie, I'd love to give me a wave. Yes. Hello, Marie. And you're so welcome, Harriet. And Jodie's here, and Jeannie, and David, and Clinton, and Djili's. Good morning to you, and Riyad from Algeria. Awesome. And Jodie, love and helping me more every day. Have a Merry Christmas, and same to you, Jodie. Much love to you, and thank you, Linda, and wishing you a Merry Christmas as well. And Marie, yep, get that. So true. Freedom is amazing. Don't want to get into the prison. Yeah, exactly. Our self-imposed prison with the completely opposite intention. And Merry Christmas to you, Gianni. And Sam, I love your guinea pig. You transmit then transmute powerfully. Oh, thank you, Sam. That is, I'm loving that you're loving me being a guinea pig. And Domenico and Carl and Judy and Sam, thank you for love and generosity. I love you. I love you too, Sam. Thank you so much. As so kind words. And Nassie's here. Nice to see you. I hope you guys who are just joining me catch the recording and get a ton of value from today's message. But really, ultimately, it's all about freedom. And I want you guys looking at what your current values are. And if freedom is on those top of those values or anywhere in your values, I would get you to question how that's actually costing you and find other ways of meeting that need for freedom. In particular, my advice to you is to definitely choose authenticity. It is your only sure path to experiencing real freedom. And anywhere where you cannot be fully who you are is not a place you want to waste your time and energy, and that's one of the major reasons why I created the group, the Limitless Potential Inner Circle Facebook community, because so many of us don't have those areas and those places to go and those relationships that are fully encouraging of us to be fully authentic and all of who we are. And that is a place to absolutely show up as the whole you. We wouldn't expect anything less. So that is absolutely it from me today, guys. I hope that it's been a valuable message for you. I hope you've resonated with it. And I'm absolutely sending you all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything extraordinary coming to you to wherever you are in the world today. I hope it's absolutely beautiful as it is here in beautiful Warrnambool. It's sunny. It's just a perfect day. And I am about to go hit the gym and meet my number one value of health and energy. So sending you all my love, guys, and I will see you tomorrow.